When heading up the M6 towards Penrith, most people in search of adventure automatically turn left and head for the Lake District. However, there is an often overlooked group of hills that many people ignore off to the right. These lonely sleeping giants offer some fantastic wide open hill walking with some incredible views. So today, we found ourselves here in the Howgill Fells, heading for the highest peak, the Calf.
Good morning, welcome to another of our little adventures. We're out today, so we're slightly different. We've headed up the M6 and instead of turning left into Lake District, we've turned right and headed to the dark side, the Yorkshire Dales. But no, it's a lovely area actually this. We're just in the Howgill Fells, which I'll be talking a little bit more about today. And we're doing the highest peak in the Howgills, which is called the Calf. So that should be nice. It's just a Wednesday, so it should be fairly quiet hopefully, although there are a lot of cars here parked up, you can just see there. And it's not a bad day. We had a little bit of rain on the way up, but it's not supposed to be a bad forecast for the day. So we're at the end of that long spell of really nice hot dry weather that we had for about 6 weeks here in the northwest. That's come to an end now. But anyway, so we just started our walk. I just wanted to mention something to start. If you've ever been here before and parked up at the old Cross Keys pub, you can just see it there. You go down to a lovely little footbridge across the river, but we've just turned up to where the cars are parked and seen this. A brand new bridge. It looks quite nice actually, but it's a shame because the old footbridge was a really pretty one. But it was getting a little bit old thinking about it and a bit rickety. So yeah, we've got a brand new bridge, which is quite impressive looking. So yeah, so we'll make our way over that. And then we're heading up the Calf. So yeah, we'll bring you back on the way up there and I'll talk a little bit more about the Howgill Fells in case you've not been here before. So we'll see you on the way. So I've been walking for about maybe half an hour. We've made it to the main crux of the walk, you might say, which is Cautley Spout, which is quite an impressive waterfall. Not sure if you can see it there. It doesn't seem to show up very well, but I'm going to get the drone out and slide a little bit. But this is a little bit that people often walk to just for this waterfall, because it's probably the highlight of the Howgills. It's a really pretty little area, so yeah, people enjoy coming here. But I mentioned the Howgills before, you know, is it worth visiting kind of thing, and we would definitely say yes. The hills here are a bit more rounded than those in the Lake District, not quite as jagged and as impressive, but they're beautiful really. It's just wide open spaces. You don't get a lot of people. This is the most popular walk in the Howgills, but we walked the length of the Howgills last year and we hardly saw anybody until we got into this section of the walk, so that was really nice. So the Howgills run from kind of T-Bay in the north down to Sedbergh in the south, which is near where we started our walk from today. So it's a nice long stretch of hills that you pass on the M6 as you're driving up north. So yeah, well worth visiting here if you do get the opportunity. But I'll show you a little bit more of them as we do our walk, and hopefully you'll see that it is an area definitely worth visiting. But yeah, so now it's a steep pull up the side of the Cautley Spout and then up onto the top of the Calf a little bit later on. So we've just made it to the top of Cautley Spout, and hopefully you can hear me over the wind. It's been lovely and sheltered coming up, but now we're on top, it's a bit windier. But it's a real pull up there, as you probably saw in the footage. yeah, quite a difficult walk, but we've enjoyed it. We've got to the top okay, so you can see there just the top. There's some nice little pools up here. We've been up here when it's been really hot, and it's been nice to have a bit of a paddle in the stream. But at this point you can kind of head off to the left up there. You can actually see them out just up there on the skyline, and that takes you around onto a slightly longer walk along there, which is probably more of an interesting walk, to be honest, onto the top of I can't remember the name of the hill, but it kind of curves round up onto the Calf where we're going. But this is the more direct route, just straight up the valley, which most people take, so we're going to head up that way today. But yeah, it's, the weather's been okay so far. There's a bit of blue sky heading over, I can see. We just had a few drops of rain, but nothing too serious, so yeah, we're enjoying ourselves. But this is one of the nice things about the Howgills. It's school holidays this week, but it's nice and quiet to be. We've only seen a few people. They're all very friendly, which is nice. I imagine most of the bigger hills in the Lake District will be quite full this week, so it's nice to get a bit of solitude up here, which is definitely one of the bonuses of walking in the Howgills. So we'll carry on now, and I imagine next time I talk to you I'll probably be on top of the Calf, so we'll see you up there. Actually just left the summit of the Calf. Wasn't really very nice up there. The wind had picked up and a little squally shower came in, which I think made the winds a bit stronger. So yeah, we didn't really spend much time on the trig point, but we've just come down off the top now, just out the wind a little bit, so hopefully you can hear me on the camera. But that's, I'd say, another advantage of the Howgills. We were on the summit, we had the whole trig point all to ourselves. You know, I think if we were on any of the Lakeland Fells today, which I can just see in the distance over there, any of those hills over there, there'd be groups of people sat around eating the sandwiches, and you know, lots of people everywhere. So that's another advantage to the Howgills, just getting the summits to yourselves. And you can see just how the Howgills kind of wind away down there. It's beautiful walking through them. I was going to get my drone out to me, but it's just a bit too windy, so I might be able to put on some old footage, which I might even be looking at now. But yeah, the walk from T-Bay to Sedbergh, it's a beautiful walk, and I think I mentioned earlier, for the first maybe 4 or 5 hours of that walk we didn't see a single person. So yeah, it's really nice up here. So the way down now, you can just see we're on a good path actually. We head down past a little tarn, see Michelle in the distance there, and it takes us down into a valley and then back down to the Cautley Spout, the waterfall that we came up. So yeah, it's a nice walk, this one. It's what I definitely recommend doing. So yeah, we're enjoying it so far, but we're just going to get down out off the top now out the wind and stop for something to eat. So we might see you on the way down there. So usually when we're up here, there's a little tarn here. You can see it's just completely dried out, which we've never seen before. I mean, it's to say it's still at the end of May, and it has just rained for the last 4 days. But yeah, that was 6 weeks of really warm, dry weather we had. It's just just no water around up here at all. But yeah, hopefully it'll kind of fill up the next few weeks. So yeah, but anyway, we'll carry on walking on our way down now.
It's not just any ham slaw sandwich, it's an M&S.
Michelle's showing off. We've just stopped for something to eat. I've got a bit of a soggy piece of cheese baguette left over from yesterday. Michelle's got
a smoked ham and slaw M&S cafe sandwich.
Very posh.
Kindly donated by my friend.
Yeah, we've got a friend who works at Marks & Spencer's, and because of all these cyber attacks they've been having, it's messed all the stock levels up, so they've been kind of throwing a lot of things away. So she brought us
throwing it away, that's false.
Giving it away. So our friend brought us a bag of shopping around yesterday, including some very interesting looking sandwiches. So that's what Michelle's got for her lunch today.
Yeah.
So we're well on our way down now. We're just following the path. But here you actually have a choice. You can either branch off down there. You can actually see people down there. It's quite steep heading down to the valley, or you can kind of follow a gradual path down the valley. But this valley is quite impressive actually. It cuts right through the centre of the Howgills, goes all the way along, running from Cautley Spout right up into the north. So you can actually walk the entire length of the valley. We've never actually done that, but that is an option you can do if you want a nice long walk here. So yeah, so we're just going to head down now, down to the bottom of the valley, then we turn right, back over to Cautley Spouts and down there again. So back down in the valley now. It's beautiful down here. The sun's come out, the wind's dropped. It's yeah, like a summer's day again. But we're just walking along this little cotton field. It's beautiful. Just been flying my drone over it, so you've probably seen some footage of that. So yeah, it's really pretty down here. So we're just about to drop down again now, back down to the bottom of Cautley Spout to where we came up. So we joined back onto the original path. Then it's just about a mile back to the car, so shouldn't take too long. But yeah, enjoying the sunshine, enjoying the walking again, and it's still nice and quiet. We've not seen anybody really since we left the top. Just one couple, just briefly. So yeah, enjoying that as well. So yeah, we'll see you on the way down. So we're almost back at the car now. It's been a really nice walk. I think about 6 miles. It's taken us just under 4.5 hours, but we've had a lot of stops. Stopping for food and playing with the drone and things. So we've enjoyed ourselves. But I think at the start I mentioned is the Howgills place worth coming to. I think you've probably agreed from the video. It's such a beautiful area, and like I say, nice and quiet. So yeah, if you've never been before, well worth popping over for a visit and doing a walk. And this is a good place to start the calf. It's like I say, the highest peak in the Howgills, but it's a really nice one as well. So yeah, well worth doing. So if you made it all the way through, thank you for watching the video. We do really appreciate it. Our next videos are probably going to be up in Scotland. We're off up there in a few weeks' time, which is part of the reason we were here today, just to boost the fitness levels a little bit. So yeah, you should see some videos from Scotland, which will be nice, hopefully. But yeah, thanks for watching the video again. If you'd like to give us a comment and a like, we'd appreciate that. And most of all, if you subscribe to the channel as well, that'd be fantastic. So thanks again, and we'll see you on our next adventure.